Hello, hello, hello. It is the DE Diva, aka the Delaware blogger, coming to you on this marvelous Monday, June 22nd, 2020. And I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. Father's Day. Hope you enjoyed the day. It was a beautiful day here. We had our hubby. My hubby was here. The daddy was here. Whatever, whatever, whatever. We had a great time just spending some time. We actually went I didn't cook. I went down to Aunt Mary's Soul Food in Milford, Delaware, and we got wings and fish and shrimp and collard greens. And oh my God, it was amazing. So we had a great day. Daddy got all that he needed from the boys. So that was perfect. I hope that you had a good Father's Day. For those of you that have a father, my father is deceased. My husband's father is deceased. So it's kind of different, for us, but it was a beautiful day. I had an opportunity to hang out with my sister, and she's moved here to Smyrna as well. Yay! But today is top 10 of the weekend for 6/22/20. First day of summer. Oh my gosh, so much happening. And you know what? In about a week or so, we'll have less than 6 months to Christmas. Oh man, this time is flying by. Talking about summer, and now I'm talking about Christmas. But let's not talk about that right now. Let's talk about the top 10 of the weekend. I actually had an opportunity to check out Quora.com and some Facebook groups, and I came up with some great, great questions that I wanted to answer for you today. And today's mug, world's best mom. Even with Dad's Day, I am still the best mom according to my sons. And I'm waiting for a new mug from my first sponsor. Can't wait for you to see it. It should be in the mail and it should be here this week. Stay tuned. So let's start with number one. What is a podcast? Oh my goodness. Most people ask, what's a podcast? I like to say it's radio reimagined. Actually, a podcast is a audio. Pod is audio and cast is broadcasting. So podcasting, audio broadcasting, it's mobile broadcasting. So you can do it from your phone, from your laptop, wherever the case may be, but it's mobile broadcasting. You don't have to be in a big studio. And that's the great thing about being able to start a podcast anywhere that you are, whether you live in a house, apartment, hotel, motel, college dorm, whatever, you can start a podcast anywhere. It's mobile. And that is what I talk about in the book, Podcasting Your Purpose Workbook. What is a podcast? And that is actually the first thing. Pod, a mobile playback device such as an iPod or an other MP3 player. And we all listen to podcasts on our smartphones or our artificial devices. So that's pod. Casting is broadcasting. So podcasting is the distribution of multimedia files such as audio and video over the internet for playback on a mobile device or a personal computer. And podcasts are shared using RSS or real simple syndication feeds. So that's in the book as well. So number one, what is a podcast? It's radio reimagined with a plan and a purpose. You can do it mobile from anywhere, and it's great. Most people are recording on their mobile device. Some people record on their laptop, but it's a great, great new form. Not new, it's a great medium. It's been around for a long time, but it's becoming more popular. Number two, what are the benefits of a podcast? Sharing your message, your voice, and your vision. It's powerful. You can connect with like-minded people. You can share content that you are good at. You can connect with others all across the globe. There is so much going on, so much anger, anxiety, and angst, I like to talk about, that we need to get this out of our heads. And that's the way to do it. If you don't like to write, i.e. blogging, then you should be podcasting, sharing with like-minded people. It could be music, it could be art, it could be politics, but I kind of shy away from that. It could be fashion. It could just be family fun, whatever the case may be. We all have something to say. So why not do it with a podcast? Number three, do you republish or repurpose your podcast content? Yes, 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 yes. You should definitely do that with your podcast. You can turn that audio and have it transcribed, or use the show notes and make it a blog post. Or you can come on YouTube and repurpose it here. You can repurpose some of the things that you say on social media or in a newsletter. So yes, you should and you can repurpose and republish content from your podcast. So definitely you want to do that to get more eyes, more ears, to widen and broaden your brand online. Number 4. Now, this is an interesting one. Best podcasting tools. Now, when people are talking about tools, I like to think about best tools that you would use for your music, or intro, outro music, perhaps your Canva, using Canva for your artwork, or hosting like Elite Conversations. So there are so many different plugins on WordPress. So I would say plugins are great if you have a blog, so that you can repurpose your content, repurpose your podcast on your blog, making sure that you use something like Canva or PixArt or something to create your artwork, which is 3,000 by 3,000 pixels. Or you can use like Fiverr or Upwork to have someone create it for you, and also to create your intro and your outro. That's another great way to make, get more exposure on your podcast by having it professionally done. What else? Headliner. Headliner is a great way. They take blurbs, a minute of your content that's auditory, and turns it into like a WAV file. You've seen those. And there's also another app called Wave. So there's quite a bit of different apps that you can use to promote your podcast, to make your podcast more popular, and to create, more exposure for yourself. So there's some great tools. I'll list those in the show notes, actually on my blog, because I'm going to repurpose today's top 10 of the weekend on my blog, delblogger.com. So you got to repurpose and republish. Oh, excuse me. Why has podcasting become so popular? You know what? This is a great way in which to share your content, and you can create that content anywhere. And again, we have so much in our head that sometimes we just want to get it out and connect with other people. So podcasting is becoming an even more popular medium. It's been around for a while, but like blogging once was, people always wanted to start a blog, and people still do want to start a blog. But I think podcasting, since it's so simple to do, because all you're doing is speaking and sharing, it's becoming more popular. The demographics are expanding. Kids, adults, boomers and beyond, seniors, it doesn't matter. Everyone is really getting into podcasting. So let me get my coffee. Great Monday morning. I already had a client call, new client onboarding this morning. So it's been a great day to kick off the week. So next question, podcasting promotion pointers. You know what? This is going to be ongoing every week. Everyone wants to know how they can promote their podcast. We've talked about call to actions. We've talked about your show notes being used for SEO. We've talked about newsletters, social media. So there are so many different pointers. It all depends on what your purpose is. Are you trying to grow, obviously, your audience? You're going to make sure that you're not just doing a one and done. If you have a series of podcast shows, repurpose them. Don't just create something last year and then don't repurpose it, especially if the content is evergreen, especially if it's tips, especially if you're trying to get more exposure. So post it on your blog or your website, post it in social media, embed it into your blogs, embed it into your website, send out newsletters each and every time you have a new podcast, which is what I started to do. So all my Del Blogger buddies, you're going to start getting that email once a week with an embedded link to the podcast from Blog Your Way to a Business Profit and or my Anchor FM Del Blogger podcast. Remember, you got the links here, Del Blogger podcast on Anchor FM. Every Saturday at 10 a.m. I give you more podcasting pointers. Again, repurposing content. So that's on Saturdays. And then on Wednesdays, it is Blog Your Way to a Business Profit with Elite Conversations. That's every Wednesday at 1. And this week, I'm going to be talking about the biggest mistake, the 5 biggest mistakes that new bloggers make. And you know what? We all start out from 0 and we just get better as we go along. So check out that on Wednesday, Blog Your Way to a Business Profit. And then on Saturdays, the Delaware Blogger podcast. And of course, Check me out. I'm here every day, Monday through Friday. I'm loving this. I think this like day 61 or 62, something like that. But it's so cool to be here every day with you. Let's get back to today's topic. This is a good one. Podcasting in the classroom. Is it worth it? Yes, it is. Not only is it worth it for the teachers and the assignments, but sometimes for the students. You got to remember, not everyone learns the same way. And some people learn better by hearing the content. So you can repurpose your lesson plans and turn them into episodes, podcast episodes that kids can listen to. They're listening to the smartphone now anyway, so why not incorporate and make it fun? So yes, podcasting in the classroom is amazing, and there are actually so many new shows coming out that's geared towards students and classrooms. So check that out. One of them, I think today, is called Reach. I was reading about it. I'll put that in the show notes as well. But it's a new podcast devoted towards students and kids, so that's pretty cool too. What do I need to know? Number 8, what do I need to know before starting? Well, before you start, you want to make sure you have a plan or purpose and you know who your audience is. So that way, when you're creating the topic, you've created this person that you're going to be talking to. And think of it as just talking to one person, having that intimate conversation. Remember, I talked about when someone pops these earbuds into their ear, they're having an intimate relationship, intimate engagement with you. So talking to that person, what is it that you want them to know? What is it that you're trying to share? So have a plan and a purpose and take your audience into consideration. What is it that you're trying to help them with? Do they have a pain point? Do they have questions that they have? Do you want to teach them something? I talk about blogging your way to a business profit by providing blogging tips and trends that will help people who want to start a blog. Excuse me. That's what I do on Wednesday. And then on Saturdays, again, I talk about podcasting pointers. So again, have a plan, a purpose, and know your audience. Number 9, if I have several ideas, should I have several podcasts? Wow. I know it's hard. I know we have so much because we're multidimensional. I always say that we are multidimensional. So we don't want to just stick with one subject, but to have several shows out of the gate, wait, get your first show out there. Get comfortable and then create another podcast. But, when you're first starting out, you're splitting your time, unless this is your full-time gig, just starting podcast after podcast after podcast. But remember, you're building a brand and you want that brand to be consistent and cohesive. So how is that matching, each show? So you're going to get audience here, then you're going to get an audience there. How are you managing all of them? So my personal opinion would be start with that first podcast. If it's like a blog, like a lifestyle podcast, you can talk about anything. I've seen those shows where they talk about everything from fishing to fashion. So if you have one podcast, you have your audience who's multidimensional and you want to hit on different topics, health, wellness, finance, and fashion, maybe break up your episodes that way. But start out with one, get that under your belt, and then move on to the next one, okay? And the last question, what is the biggest or most common mistake when starting a podcast? I am going to say bad audio. I'm not saying go out and buy the best mic, spend a whole bunch of money on mics, but if you've got bad audio, remember, a lot of echoes, a lot of reverberations, just a lot of noise, in and out, high volume, low volume, that's going to turn your listeners off because again, they are having that intimate relationship with you. These earbuds are in their ear, and the last thing they want to hear is really bad audio. So if you can invest in the best mic that you can afford, not just because it's the latest and greatest and someone told you to get it, make sure that you are investing in your audio. Again, your topic has to have a plan, has a purpose, content has to be good. But the audio is what the first thing people are going to hear. So make sure that they hear something pleasant. Don't assault their ears. So that is my answer to the top 10 of the weekend for 6/22/20. And tomorrow, my son's birthday, 6/23/92. He will be 28 years old. Oh my God, he's my miracle child. He was 2.5 pounds, 3 months early, and they said he wasn't going to live. And tomorrow he will be 28 years old. God is so good. I'm so happy. I'm so proud. I'm just so excited. So if you are interested in learning more about podcasting and or blogging, remember I have the Podcasting Your Purpose workbook that is available on Amazon. I will leave the link. If you want to learn more about basic blogging tips for beginners, you head over to dellblogger.com and you can order your copy. And if you want the book bundle, remember the book bundle is $26. You get a copy of the Podcasting Your Purpose workbook, as well as a copy of the basic blogging tips for beginners. Send an email to me at info@blakeenterprises.com, not only to order your book, but if you want to schedule a 30-minute complimentary discovery call so that we can connect and talk about what it is that you want to do. What is it? Your topics, what do you want to schedule? Things like that. We can set up a discovery call. And if you'd like to sign up for the coaching session, remember I have the 90-minute coaching session where we will get deep down into it. The title, the topic, the description, the schedule, your intro, your outro, hosting, all of that. And you will get a copy of the Podcasting Your Purpose workbook as part of that 90-minute mini coaching session for $97. So again, this is a great way to get yourself started in the wonderful world of podcasting. I talk about why you should start a podcast. Again, why you should. Smart money is being heavily invested into podcasting. With the advent of artificial intelligence and Wi-Fi, it makes it so easy and convenient in which to do so, especially if you're an author and you want to, amplify your brand. If you're a speaker like myself, a professional speaker who now no longer is on stages, we have to share our message somehow, and podcasting is a perfect way in which to do so. The demographics are expanding. Politicians, preachers, teachers, everyone. I just told you last week, Don Lemon, anchor at CNN, is starting a podcast. Kim K, Miss Kanye West, she's starting a podcast. And I'm pretty sure people who are of all ethnicities, walks of life, are having podcasts that they love, they share, and they want to create. It's mainstream media. It's now niche media. It's not mainstream media. We don't have to rely on newspapers and the 6 o'clock news to get our messages. We can get them from a audio podcast. We can get them from a blog. That's where we're getting our news. And of course, growth and the popularity is exploding. So again, it's easy to consume. I give you tips, steps, how to name your show, creating content. So this book, our web book, has a planner in here that will help you to outline your episode, your guest release forms. I talk about that. Podcasting like a pro, smartphone, microphone, headset, laptop. So this is a great workbook. Again, it's available on Amazon.com. I will leave the link in the show notes. Podcasting for Profit, podcasting platforms, and anyone that's out there that has received this book, they'll tell you that it was well worth the $15.99. And for my friends that have already got the basic blogging tips for beginners, can tell you that it's well worth the $9.99. Again, this is a great book when you're first starting out, or you're a veteran blogger and you just want some more tips. So head over there to info@blakeenterprises, to your email. Send me an email. Tell me what you need. And also, find and follow me on all my social media platforms. Here's my Linktree ID, Dell Blogger, or you can use the hashtag Delaware Blogger to find me wherever. Thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, and make sure you share this with your family and friends. So if you have any questions, please feel free to send me email. If you want questions asked, leave that in the comments section below or send an email. Again, it is the DE Diva, aka the Delaware Blogger, and wishing you a beautiful day. Stay smart, stay safe, and social, still from a distance, because I will see you in cyberspace. See ya. It's the DE Diva, aka the Delaware Blogger. Head over to dellblogger.com this afternoon for the answers again to all these questions, as well as a copy or this YouTube video embedded in there as well. Enjoy. See ya.